Fix it tip number 13. Your fun is wrong. Really, really captured the internet in a snapshot there in 4 words.
Didn't it, though? Wow. Right, we literally only have computers to make to get the power infrastructure milestone up. Okay.
And mark for belts.
Mark for belts. Okay. Got this massive storage bin full of random things in it, including black powder, some crystal oscillators. It actually has 16 computers. And
oh yeah, we did find some computers, yeah.
I'm tempted to just throw those in there just so we have that much less to cram in later, but
maybe.
I suppose once construction is underway, it won't matter that much.
Alright.
Right. I created a manufacturer over here so we could kind of look at the... Right, what does it take to do this again? 25 per minute of circuit boards, 22 and a half per minute of cables, 45 per minute of plastic, 130 per minute of screws. Oh, we're not going to want this here, but I just wanted to build one of these so we like... Right, now what do we need again? Which isn't to say we couldn't just, leave it here and build some bins and do kind of the purpose-built version temporarily. But...
the problem is that this requires a lot of plastic, probably more than we're making.
It requires a crap-a-ton of plastic, because you need...
enough for the circuit boards and the computers.
Yeah.
And for the circuit boards for the computer. Yeah, I've made the...
We've each been down this road before, and it's not fun.
We've both made the computer factory before, and it's not... It's not the greatest.
Nope.
Okay. So the question is, how much do we want to do here? And maybe, how many of these parts could we maybe outsource elsewhere? I'm feeling like maybe the way to simplify this, honestly, overall, is to find a place elsewhere with different resources to put together circuit boards, just circuit boards.
Plastic and copper.
Yeah,
so is there a copper node down in the massive oil fields?
I'm going to go down and check. Might as well do some recon, because if we can just make circuit boards somewhere else and bring them up here, that honestly simplifies so much by itself.
Yeah, there is that.
And then we just bring it up here to manufacture, and we're kind of okay. So show me.
Yeah, because screws and I'm going to, because what I haven't done yet is actually brought the rest of the screw production online in the ironworks.
Oh yeah, the ironworks. Yeah.
Now we don't need it, and frankly, if we find copper and iron down there, we're good. Because then there's our wires, there's our copper sheets for the circuit boards, and there's the screws.
Well, I have some bad news about...
no iron, I take it.
No, there's no copper anywhere near the oil fields. Except for the one up there. the copper we're using on the hill.
Right, because that whole coastline is... It exists largely because of the oil and not much else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just did a ping for iron, and it's like, yeah, that's funny. Would you like the iron you're already using, or the other iron you're already using? Yeah, never mind. But yeah, it's gonna be a giant pain in the keister to try and get Mondo plastic.
Okay,
up that hill.
Already destroyed you guys, but sure.
Oh, they respawn.
Yeah.
Right, because that is a Mark III conveyor belt full of plastic, and it's not going to get a lot better than that. Good news is we've got power for days.
Yeah. We are just fine on power.
Plastic, copper, and iron.
Yep.
You know what we do.
What do we do with all this?
I have an idea. I'm not saying it's the idea, but I know where copper and iron can be found somewhat north of a bunch of high-grade oil. We roll out to the Gold Coast.
Oh.
Just say, we're just going to build the entire thing that makes computers separate from all of this. Use all new resources. We're going to need computers galore and circuit boards galore.
We're going to need a dedicated computer factory with its own resources, yeah.
So instead of trying to like carve off some plastic here and some iron there and a little bit of copper from that, we just say this site is dedicated. Its purpose in life is to become the computer maker.
Yep, that is something we can do.
Because that is where you're going to find those three things in relative proximity.
Yeah, mine was like... My computer factory is like a bit south across the river, towards the middle of the map. But yeah, you're thinking like the West Coast?
Yeah, just roll out to the West Coast. I've already got a beacon partway there, and have actually been down the coast. I remember I grabbed that hard drive.
Yep, you went on an expedition down there.
I expeditioned the heck out of it. Not quite as cool as sciencing the heck out of something, but it's in that same ballpark.
Yeah, it's in the same field. Do we want to do something similar for HMFs, or can we arrange those here?
I think the HMFs, I mean, I just did those, didn't I?
Screws, EIBs, steel pipes, modular frames. So they're split between the two facilities right now.
Screws, EIBs, steel pipes. I feel like, because of the steel requirement, I would say we set up HMFs here as just another adjunct to or like between the two sites, between here and the steelworks.
Yeah, somewhere along those lines, yeah.
And we just, send whatever we need of each to wherever we build that.
Yeah.
Because that does not make sense to try and do somewhere else, mainly because we need steel, and steel is a very specialized thing to have to try and make.
Yeah, I did a standalone factory for HMFs, actually, and it was not my proudest building. It was efficient, but like it was also very big and required a lot of things to be in close proximity. It was a big building, and yeah, much preferred doing HMFs from what we have here and doing computers somewhere else. Yeah, I think that's the plan.
And besides, HMFs require all the things we're already making.
Yeah.
Like, we would have to replicate a percentage of this whole infrastructure at an HMF specific site.
Yeah.
Which isn't to say we wouldn't do that later when we say, you know what, we need more of these, let's dedicate a site to it. But right now, you don't need HMFs to the same degree you need computers.
Yeah.
If you crank out a few every few minutes, you're already making more than you're going to really need.
Fine, yeah. You might need...
They're a construction material, not a product material.
Yeah. And their use cases are pretty efficient, so... Alright. There's a long way to the West Coast, though, from here. It's not an insignificant chunk of the map.
Yeah, I've got a waypoint that's the bridge to Desert Lake, and that gets you in that direction.
Gotcha.
And once you get past that and past the Desert Lake with all the iron and copper, like I'd almost say use that spot. But you still got to get the oil. You still get the plastics there.
Yeah.
And The problem is there are two spots you could do that with. You can do the 3 pure iron and the 1 pure copper that's next to that lake, but I think you've got to get the plastic further to use that.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a bit northwest of there is a bunch of kind of like normal copper and iron that might work better. Math.
Logistics.
Yeah,
That's the game.
Let's see here. Right. We're not doing a lot right now, but we are having to like plan, and this is not something we just throw yourself at. You really need to.
Yeah.
What are we actually the heck doing? Because the map says. Unselect all layers, show normals. Right. That area has a mess of normal iron and a couple of normal coppers. 3 total if you want to bring out the one that's on that peninsula a bit.
Let's see.
You just have to build a line to get the plastic out of the crude oil on the islands north a bit. You just have to build kind of a big bridge to get that up there. But then you've got iron. It's all normal. Which, yeah, if you've got 4 or 5 of them,
Yep.
Normal works fine.
Plastic is the big requirement for computers anyway.
Yeah. And honestly, I would be inclined to grab that pure that's on the... Because there's the one island, the northern island has like 2 normals and a pure on it. And then there's the island just south of that has another pure. But I would be thinking, grab the pure one that's on that one island, turn that into, here, have all the plastics, and then just shuttle that straight north.
So, looking at like the Satisfactory tips computer factory layout, it's like 290 plastic, 245 copper ore, 65 iron ore to make 5 computers a minute.
Right, you go through copper more than you go through iron at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think mine is using just one of those iron nodes to make just dedicated to screws, and then I'm using both of the normal coppers right near there.
Although that is assuming
tubing out of that.
vanilla recipes as well.
I don't think we have fancy recipes for much of anything else.
No, for circuit
Like
boards
anything
and
that-
computers, we're fine. The only really fancy recipe we have in that lineup is casted screws, really.
Yeah, which I have on mine too, and that's why I was just able to turn that one
Yeah.
iron mine into.
I never found casted screws on my first excursion, so I ended up using vanilla recipes to get that going.
Yeah, you'd have to. It's almost half again as much distance to get plastic over to the lake that has the pure iron and copper. So it's like you get the same amount of copper at that spot, but it's a more constrained location because it's up against cliffs and has that lake there. And all you're really getting out of it is a pure single copper instead of the double normal. So the copper comes out the same, basically.
Yeah.
So for not having to lay as much beltage or whatever transportation mechanism you choose, and you're working with the same amount of materials, basically, I really think that's just kind of that desert plateau north of the oil is probably like if you're cool with this plan of let's just build a computer site.
Yeah, I'm absolutely cool with this plan. I think talking it out, we've reasoned it out, and this makes the most sense.
Alrighty. I guess the question is, do you want to have us both go out there and start doing things to build that out and come back to the heavy mod frames? Because right now we don't technically need heavy mod frames. Or do you want me to hunker down the HMFs while you go out and work on that?
How about you head out and start establishing sort of the base for the computer factory, and I will kind of look at things here to set up our HMF middleman.
Works for me.
And then once I figure that might actually be the shorter of the two tasks, so once I feel like I've either established enough to my satisfaction or even gotten that rolling to my satisfaction, I come down and join you and help you with whatever you need.
Cool. Next question, do I start running power lines now? I mean, we're going to need power at some point. We're going to have to connect the two worlds in some fashion. So
well,
the answer is probably just duh.
You've already scouted out the general location and put down beacons, so yeah, I'd say start running power down there, and heck, maybe...
Because otherwise we've got to turn one of the oil fields into a power plant, and
No.
not sure.
Yeah,
not
we've
sure
got enough power to handle a whole other installation just fine.
Oh yeah, we don't even have the we don't have the thing unlocked to actually do the oil power. So, yep, running power lines it is.
Yeah,
which means I need to get a mass of cables and some other things. What does it take to do those again?
Also, yes, Crumb, this coffee does have like anti-gravity properties. This mug does keep the coffee in at all times.
It's always steaming. The steam can always escape. But you can click to drink it, and it never empties. And you can jump around all over the place, and it never spills. It's the world's perfect coffee mug.
The platonic ideal of mug.
Okay, I need a whole mess of rods, quick wire, regular cables, and concrete.
I'm just going to put, like...
I actually have a lot of those.
An HMF.
I'm going to get more quick wire.
On my list so I know what materials I'm looking to use here. Oh yeah, we need to... I'm gonna definitely need your ironworks at capacity. I'll root around in there and see if I can get that all up and running, I think, is what I'll do. Unless you want to come in and tweak this as well.
Oh no, if you see stuff in the ironworks that can be improved, by all means. Like, I went and did some of the cleanup of the inputs and things like that, but like I said, the screws aren't fully figured out yet because we don't actually have the belt capacity to have all the screws go out.
To feed them all, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying that way.
Yeah, we need belt infrastructure to make these high capacity plans even work.
I'm going to put the plastic that I'm carrying back in. I'm loading up for an expedition. Oh no, I'm taking 2 of the slots of concrete out of there. Whatever will we do?
Mm-hmm.
And I need a mess of cables, because that's the thing I'll probably end up running out before I get where I'm going. But at 200 per stack, I can get a fair chunk of the way there, probably.
So these are... going...
And I've got 6 inhalers.
Yep, this is very Factorio and Minecrafty type of thing. It's a 3D Factorio for sure.
Yep.
Alright, so screws are coming up here. We got plenty in the bins.
Oh, I'm going to be in the land of barrel nuts. I don't know why I'm grabbing barrel nuts out of here, but oh well.
Got...
Yeah.
Oh, this...
While I would normally bring the Explorer, I'm going to leave that for you, because it's not really going to do me good when I need to be placing beacons all the time. All right, I am off.
All right, best of luck.
We're also going to end up with a separate foundation structure, but nothing to really do about that.
I mean...
I'm not going to try and lay foundation based on anything all the way across the map.
Yeah, no.
That's ridiculous, even for me. Look at those stators rolling on up there.
I need you to...
All right, when I was in the Explorer, I had critters ignoring me, but I'm not in the Explorer anymore. This might become interesting.
Oh, yeah. No, we still run into the same problem of belt capacity, but if I can at least get it set up so that when we do get Mark IVs, it'll work, that'll be enough. Yeah, these are...
It's practically the unofficial motto of the game. That'll be enough.
Pretty much.
Ah, what a lovely baobab-looking tree. It's a shame we'll probably have to cut it down at some point. Unexpected side effect of playing the game with headphones and having the game audio go into those headphones. When you eat the barrel nuts, you now get to listen to yourself chewing. Chewing noises. Gotta love it. Hi everyone, power all the way to my old stomping grounds.
You're probably not going to reach mine that quickly.
Autosave chug now.
Still too much, huh? Alright, this
Kind of wish I'd brought enough materials for limestone production.
Oh, yeah.
Because having a ready source of concrete nearby would not actually be a terrible idea.
Hmm.
Did I bring enough to actually pull that off? Because I will totally workbench that if I can. Neat idea, and I'll keep the workbench and thing handy, but I did not bring any steel products with me, so no miner Mark II. And no storage bin Mark II.
Oh.
But on my next pass through, I'll be ready to do that.
Yeah. Where are you making mod frames?
No, I hand built them.
Oh. No,
the ones that are in the bin, go ahead.
Not heavy modular frames, just regular modular frames.
They're up in there somewhere. Because they're getting stored, so I know I'm making them.
I might as
because rotors are in that bit. I want to go
also
west.
Whoop, whoop. Just, I was riding the, there we are. I was riding the belts for a bit to get around. Alright, so here's mod frames. This manifold is nice and happy. This is kind of boring to watch, yet super interesting. I don't know why on both counts. I mean, it's a game about building factories. It is exactly as boring and yet weirdly fascinating. I mean, we can both attest to that.
Yeah, the feeling you're having watching it is very similar to the feeling you're having playing it. You're like, yeah. I can't believe I'm this invested in laying mountains of concrete foundations and placing conveyor belts. How am I so invested in this?
To make virtual products for virtual purposes. And yet...
Yep.
Alright, so yeah, there's 10 odd frames.
As has been said many times before, this game, either you just bounce right off it completely, like, what are you doing? Or it is oddly, incredibly satisfying and scratches a particular itch for you.
Pretty much. And it's all... If you want to let your brain just turn off and... What the...
Haha. Spitter fall down the hole.
I just disconnected. I timed out.
You did. You discoed. Welcome back.
Yeah, I think my internet just kind of hiccuped there. Alright then. How odd.
Were you able to get back in game?
Yeah, I'm back in. I should be anyway.
Yeah, I didn't notice the pop up. I was busy fighting a alpha, or
Yep.
not an alpha, but it's just bitter.
Alright then. Where was I? Oh yes, trying to think about
Mod frames.
heavy mod frames, yeah. So we have just enough there. Need pretty much all that. Yeah, just enough. Alright. So now the question is, given we have the materials here and down there, where do I send them all? To get probably just, I mean, I only just enough to feed into one manufacturer, making 2 per minute.
Which is fine.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I said, you don't need massive amounts of mod frames
yeah,
or
and
heavy
that,
mod frames.
yeah.
Or if that ever comes up, we can, burn the bridge when we get to it.
So you've got all this
There they are.
extra space here in the ironworks. Were you planning on using this for anything in specific?
If it's on the same floor as the screws,
Yeah.
more screws.
More screws? Alright, yeah.
Because I'm not using the full capacity. Like, I haven't built all of the screw constructors
Yeah.
that were originally planned.
Got it. Makes sense.
On the other hand, we could easily put more screws elsewhere. So if that works out well for building the mod frame type stuff, knock yourself out.
Not particularly was my thought, so might not be what I end up doing.
Yeah, because that splitter right as the ingots come in for the screw floor is there so that I can split out for the other
to
half
another-
of the screw production.
Got it. Makes sense. All right.
Okay, I have power.
Well, while I let my brain chew on that, I'm going to... Dinner was actually just brought to me, so I'm going to scarf that down real quick.
Go forth and nom.
So I will park my butt somewhere with a decent view.
I'm going to build up and over, I think.
And I'll mute for a bit while I eat some food real quick. Be right back.
No problem. All right, I am building foundations up and away toward where all of the tasty, tasty iron is.
All right.
Welcome back.
The extra space on top for the mod frames, do you have plans for that? Another
Extra
line
space on
of...
top of them.
Where
Oh,
the-
there's that one line of thingamajobbers.
Mhm.
Let's see here. What are those making? That's
Those are the mod frames, the 5 assemblies for mod frames.
Oh, the 5 up there is the mod frames. Oh, yeah, right. Build planner. 6 mod frames is all I had planned, and if that's what's up there, then we're done with those. So, yeah, that extra space is available. It's there because I needed all the extra space below for the other things.
Mhm. Then since it takes mod frames to make heavy mod frames anyway, I think this is where...
Oh, yeah, just use what's available, yeah.
Then pull up the screw, the number of screws I need from below, and then bring over the steel pipes and the IBs from down the hill. Bring them up here.
I'm good with that. Ooh, I'm going to make friends. Okay, can I build out in such a way that I can deal with those friends
And the fastest way
without
for me
falling into the water?
to get the stuff for manufacture is to dismantle the manufacturer you put down here.
Oh, yeah, by the way, yes. Take that and roll with it. Ooh, I've got a spitter friend and fire crab friend. This will be fun.
Oh, yeah. I need that.
Come on, where are you, stupid thing?
Like, roughly so. Big old beast of a thing. Alright.
Well, this is a very interesting location.
I need an AI limiter.
So over here, behind these big pillars of rocks and things... Oh, and this is the outcropping that the bauxite is on.
Oh.
At the bottom of it are some spitters guarding a whole bunch of destructible rocks.
Hmm.
And I'm ignoring them for the moment.
Because, yeah, what's going to be down there? Mercer Sphere?
Who knows? But I don't see slug lines
Yeah.
coming out of the sky, so... And now for the nervous-making part, where I build across the water. Way up high.
So try to put any whatever left overflow. Do with you.
Yeah, that was kind of silly of me. Not that that's ever stopped me before.
You need power somewhere.
Now I'm having flashbacks to making that train line. Whole big long line of foundations across the water. But I decided instead of going along the beach and up and around all the sand dunes and everything, I would just go up and over directly from the copper and iron sources.
Gotcha.
Alright. So that gives it a straight shot. Just run the conveyor belts from the oil island straight up and past these spitters, which I will probably deal with at some point.
Oh, pardon.
But first I want to get power over there. Really? Who do I annoy? Projectile weapons. Why do I not have projectile weapons?
Then... Can't. Iron plate, really? Okay, fine. Game says I need iron plates, I'm gonna get iron plates.
Gotta do what you gotta do. Okay. I have power almost to the shore of Oil Island. Like, until you start building here, you're not going to need it that badly anyway.
Yeah. Alright.
Hate when you accidentally double stack your foundations.
Yeah, every time.
Oh, there is a power slug back there,
Ah,
which is so well buried that you couldn't even see the lines coming out of it, or going into it, or whatever.
This is the one that takes 200, so that needs to be Mark III.
Ratio.
Alright, that... I did that correctly. And being a client hasn't messed anything up. That should be screws going up to the manufacturer. And it is.
Sweet. Hot diggity dog.
And
10 seconds to save.
Odd frames are in and being smart split out.
Should not initiate combat when an autosave is about to happen.
Maybe not the best idea. Pardon. Cough came on there.
Where'd you go, you stupid little bugs?
Alright, so now what remains is to... Always an interesting bug. What remains is to get our other materials down here.
Come on, let me up there. Thank you.
I'm going to need a lot more iron plates. Oh my goodness. Because I only need these in Mark I quantities.
I successfully came back with a power slug, or coming back with a power slug. After paffing some fire crab bugs and some spitters. Do I like Update 4's improvements to performance? Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
Before Update 4, I could not engage in combat in a full-screen game.
All right. I'm happy about the improvement that lets me actually use stackable conveyor poles now most of the time.
Haha, that is good.
I need a couple more. Said most of the time.
Famous last words.
You know what I'm starting to suspect?
Is?
I'm almost wondering if whatever the bug is has to do with elevation.
Like, as long as you're operating on ground level, you're fine, but as soon as you get too far above that, it's
If I'm
gets buggy.
too low in terms of verticality, if I'm in a valley or something, if I'm up higher, it's fine.
Huh.
But if I'm in the valley, suddenly... Or, no, maybe it's just that the ones I placed here were...
Oh, hey, you know what I should probably do?
What should you probably do?
As I get all the way back to the lake before I realize this is what I should do. I'm going to place beacons at the iron and oil locations.
Ah, I see. This is going to be...
Okay, I did not put a
outright
beacon
mess.
down there.
Alright, yeah, these... steel pipes.
So I've marked computer works basically at where the iron is. Like, the copper's a little bit north of it, but not a whole lot. So this is where the metals are all going to be.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
And I'll go drop the other one down at the oil island.
It's going to take a little weaving around, but I can at least use some of the existing stackable conveyor belt infrastructure beneath the hypertube for this. There's just going to be a few spots
good.
where I have to kind of weave around it and add some extra.
Tis what it is.
Pretty much. No, attached to that thing, not the cable. That's where it's just one, so. Oh, don't you dare. And then sometimes it's just not gonna let me stack on top of an existing one, so I just gotta place a couple beside it.
Dope. Now for a long, long, long hike home. Admittedly, there's probably going to be some hypertube construction planning in my future because nobody in their right mind is going to want to walk back and forth between the computer site and the oil island.
Yeah.
But hey, the stackable conveyor poles that help support that will also get plastics. But there is power the whole way to both of these sites.
Alright, that's a start.
And there's a consistent foundation grid between the two.
Excellent, Voik.
I do try. I am going to set up that the limestone production over here.
Yeah.
Because you're never going to not need concrete.
Locally sourced.
Yep. Oop, I'm down to my last 50 concrete, and I now need to hike 8 kilometers back to get more. No. And they make handy guideposts. How do I get home? Oh yeah, just follow the power line.
Mm-hmm.
You can even try making like Peter Parker and just zip line along someday when we get that unlocked.
We do have that unlocked. It's just not very good.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's not my thing.
Fine, I guess you're just gonna be stubborn.
Aha, I am within sight of the steelworks.
And then... that should be an HMF production line.
Woohoo!
albeit a very long one.
Wait, I'll take that with me, actually. I threw down a generic storage bin next to the... oh, I didn't want that way.
Next to your construction
next to the
site.
off-ramp.
Yeah. All right.
No, next to the exit of the hypertube.
Ah.
Because it's got things like alien carapaces and wooden plant life and alien organs and that power slug. It's like I don't want to carry them back and forth, but I don't want to go all the way home with them either. Okay, let's get that built.
All right, let's see how it's coming along. If this works out, I'm gonna be quite happy with this as our HMF setup, honestly.
I'll have to go check it out once I get this limestone setup done.
That. Ah, here we go. Here's the EIBs and pipes. Taking their time.
They've got some distance to travel. What did I forget? Oh, I am a fool. I am an absolute fool.
What simple thing did you forget?
It takes EIBs to make a miner.
Ah.
I just grabbed steel beams and steel pipes.
Ah.
Ah.
That it does.
I had one of those moments. But I do have a workbench. Let's see if I brought enough.
Just
yeah,
a few
I
more
did.
segments to go.
Gonna use up most of my remaining concrete, but that's okay because this is all in the service of making more concrete. Boop. There we go. Set up that craft bench for a reason, y'all.
This is very watching paint dry, but you do not realize how invested I am in this paint drying. There they go. They ascend.
Huzzah. Okay, Mark II. It's 100 and... because this is a normal node, right? It's not a pure node. So I'm getting what? How many constructors worth out of that? Probably just 3.
All right.
45, 90.
And we have liftoff.
So wheat.
Every modular frames are being manufactured. All right. That's that project taken care of, which is a relief, honestly. I was really worried that was going to be as hard as computers, but thankfully not.
That is excellent. All right, 120 per is Mark II belts. Did I bring enough stuff for Mark II belts? Guess I'm going to find out.
So I'm gonna take the car down there and see how things are going, and then figure out what we need and help you.
Cool.
Because I'm now free to help you with the computer factory.
Well, the power is there. The grid is started. Life is good. I'm going to put the power for these over. Nope, I got the power. Just need to upgrade that one. Oh. Are you already a Mark II? You're already a Mark II. I am so smart. I mean, lucky.
Hmm.
Move it, Boib. Yes, move it.
Right, so I've not been this far out yet. So bridge to Desert Lake.
Yes, you aim for that. That'll get you across the water there.
Ah, there we go.
Yes, I did. Okay, fine there.
Oh, hello, Poison Forest.
Yes, you have to kind of skirt that. Output is 15 per minute, so really we're never going to have that much going on.
Howdy.
Hello.
You're setting up limestone?
I'm setting up limestone.
All right.
It's not going to be terribly pretty, but it's going to work.
All right, walk me through what you're thinking in terms of where we're putting the computer assembly part of this.
Probably going to want it a bit north of... Oh, yeah. Not here, that's for sure.
Just where you've got the computer works marker?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, follow that out there and then do a ping of what copper and iron are available, and you'll kind of get a feel for the lay of the land there.
All right, then.
I need to put that power line somewhere else.
Carefully. Hey, space stick.
Clipping is going to bother me.
All right, so copper. And then this gob of iron. Oiland.
It's an island. I mean, I had to get a dad joke in there somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, let's put a power thingy here.
All right, so are those pure down there, or?
There's no pure copper or iron over there. Sadly.
I mean the oil.
Oh, oil. There's 2 pure, 2 normal.
Gotcha. Can I... Oh, yeah. Stuck the landing. All right.
And we have established production.
There we go. All right. And thus I'm here. All right. So send plastic up this way, quite a ways, to where...
It's a long ways, but there's no way around that.
Yeah, to where the iron and copper are, and thus we assemble computers there. Alright. So here's my question. Do we want to do a one manufacturer setup for computers or two?
If we think we can pull it off, we might as well do two.
Yeah, we...
Well, I don't know what... The real thing, I don't know what computers... Like, how many do you need, how fast, of computers in the long run?
Yeah, that's tough is the thing. Computers kind of go into quite a few things.
Yes, they do.
So probably
if we can get to two...
Yeah,
yeah.
we probably want to get to two manufacturers.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look at you go.
Yep. Oh. You had the same idea. So, yeah.
So it's like, this one iron node will get us pretty much all the screws
Yeah, that's
we're
kind of
likely
it.
to need.
Yeah, the
And then up north is basically we turn all that copper. The problem is you need cables and copper sheets.
Copper sheets, yeah.
So we may end up having to bring in all three of those copper nodes, and one of them's kind of off
Yeah,
a
one
little
of
bit
them's a bit
away.
further away, but we do kind of... Probably do barrel racing with that buggy? Yeah, maybe.
Right, the copper's up there. This is all iron. It's a lot of iron, but it's just iron.
At least there's two on this ping. Two normal copper nodes on that ping there.
Yeah.
Then...
And the other one's just kind of a little bit ways off.
Yep. Kind of go up and over and down. Otherwise, fairly acceptable.
Is it down or is it
Well, it's,
on a pillar kind of thing?
no, it's behind the pillar.
Okay.
You kind of have to go around, up and down. And this is a three normal, I think. Yeah, it's 360. Yeah, that's enough, I think, to meet the needs for the two manufacturer computer plant.
Yep. Because you go through a lot of the copper sheet making the
Circuit boards. Yeah.
And then you need some cables.
Yep.
So 2 to 1 probably will work, or we can figure out. We should probably do math, really.
Yeah, this is kind of spreadsheet time. Because we need to make the most of
Oh, look at that.
all the stuff here.
Yeah, I realize the computer works beacon, it's probably not where it's actually going to be. I suspect.
This is the general area.
Yeah, this kind of desert plateau here to the north of this.
Really, right around here where I'm standing is kind of where we have the most open space.
Yeah, that is actually literally where mine is.
Ah.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey.
You found friends.
Didn't even mean to find these friends, but here we are.
Yeah, so they popped into existence as you saw it. It's like, oh, hey. And over here, kind of in that depression, there's a slug guarded by
Ah.
a spitter. And I've already got that hard drive.
Oh, good.
That's to the northeast. So you can see how far ranging I was with the...
Oh, yeah.
But it's because I knew where they were. It's like, I've been here before. And that cave over there has nothing in it.
Ah.
It's just a passageway. There's no mycelia, there's no critters, there's nothing.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that takes care of scouting.
And initial power run, which was my real goal there.
I figure if we kind of split up and kind of take a resource.
Yeah.
Get the parts that we need with just that resource. Like the plastic from the oil and maybe like copper sheets and cables from the copper. And then then the screws from the iron, kind of have them meet out in that open space in the middle. We can kind of do the rest there and put our work together there.
10 seconds to autosave.
I think that's how we do this, is because there'll need to be some facility set up just to get the first and second level materials ready.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is not we're finishing this tonight or possibly even the next night kind of deal.
But I figure I think some of the resource parts are discrete enough that we can. The plastic facility alone is going to be redonkulous, but that is so much plastic.
Right. So I've got this roadway pointed more or less directly at the northern of the two pures.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of figure we work with that. Because I think when we want to do power, we use the North Coast wetland oil for power. Because we'll be able to power many, many things with that. Yeah. And we're probably going to need plastic too. I mean, you started it, we'll just add more to that.
Yeah.
But I feel like for the computer project, let's just take one of these.
Yeah.
Take the pure one over here and just go hog with it. There are still two normals and another pure available.
I think we might need more than one pure, I think, is...
Well, there's also that.
Yeah.
There's another pure, and a little bit to the west of the second pure is a hard drive I haven't gotten to yet.
Mm.
And I think it's a no requirements hard drive, so it's just a matter of getting over there and subduing the spitters and hogs guarding it.
But yeah, to feed like two things worth of, for both the circuit boards and the computers, we need like 290 per minute. We need a lot of plastic.
Yeah, and in my game, I'm actually kind of regretting having tried to split up the oil production in these two islands, the two normals and two pures, into all the things I need. Because I need a lot of plastic. I'm also making packaged fuel for the jetpack. I'm also making rubber. It's like... And also the two pures are doing all my power.
Yeah, I think the...
Yeah, so like right over here, I don't want to get too close because I know there's dudes out here. Yeah, look at those spitters. But right over there is the pure.
Ah, yep, I see it. Then we got a couple over there. Got it.
Yep. Yeah, in the bushy parts, the tree parts over there. Oh, hi. Yeah, what the heck. I know there's an alpha in there too, so... Oh, I don't think so, buddy. Yeah, there's an alpha hiding in that... Well, he's not hiding anymore. Oh, he's not hiding at all.
Oh, good. He was guarding a Mercer sphere.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
And this is the island, like just past the Pure over here, which I'm not going to get any closer to because there's firebugs. But that whole grassy area behind it is covered in flowers. You just run around going E and pick up flowers.
A real monkey business.
Yep.
All right. We have at least established a connection to all this, which is good.
Yep.
Yeah, getting all this facility. Gotta be
like, I feel like we could use one of the small ones to get the packaged fuel.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we get to jetpacks, we're going to freaking want that.
We've got so many impure nodes up north.
Yeah.
We can just task one of those to be, hey, you make fuel, and you make plastic. You two make packaged fuel. You're done.
Well, the fun thing about packaged fuel is you make plastic, and packaged fuel is kind of just an extra thing you get a little bit of.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing you use it for is jetpacks. Once you have made enough of it, all you can really do is sink the rest, because you're just, or just let the production stop, which is kind of what I've done.
Yeah, that's what I've done too.
You're like, oh, I've got a container full of, a whole mess of packaged fuel. I'm done now. Which feels kind of wasteful, because now you're sitting there with an oil node that's not doing anything other than making plastic, which you need. So, hey, plastic.
So, yeah, I think we have a plan to make the computer works.
Yep. I guess the question is, do you want me to run... well, two things. Do we want to run a hypertube along this mess? And the answer being yes. I will also use conveyor lifts to build it, so we have conveyor belts to run the...
Yeah,
okay, that's going to be part of what I do. So I need to go back home and get a whole mess of copper sheets, which is ironic because, well, what are we making here? Copper sheets.
Yep. Yeah, we're probably not getting this done tonight now.
Oh, ho, ho.
I
mean, we've got an hour and change before we call it for the night, but we've got a big task. It took me a week to get my Copperworks even bootstrapped in my game.
Like, the two of us working together on this can at least expedite this a fair bit, but, like, even just getting all that plastic refinery going to make, like, 300 plastic, ugh.
That alone is going to be a big ask.
Yeah.
But yes, I think transportation is going to be one of my next things. I think what I'm actually going to do, because we're going to be going back and forth a lot.
Yeah, to get this done.
And the Explorer is nice, but it's like trying to drive along all of this might, well, I don't know, maybe it could be done.
It's a little finicky. Especially on client side, when you're kind of like every foundation's just like, ooh, new collision box. Ooh, new collision box.
Yeah. So I think, oddly enough, my first thing is going to be to get 3 chunks of hypertube.
Yeah.
One to the lake, one from the lake to here, and then another one south to the oil.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best bet.
Because that way we can just pop out of one tube into the next, and in a matter of a few short hops,
we're back at
we
the
can
hub,
get all the way back to the hub. Like 4 hops to hub. I can work with that. All right. I'm going to make that my life's work first.
Get the hypertube network going.
Yeah, because every time I have to hoof it back and forth, I'm just going to be regretting life. So the sooner I can make that not a problem, the happier I will be. My happiness really is what's important here.
Yeah. I mean, both of ours, really. But you are the host, especially. I think I kind of want to just get started on the bigger of the
Big plastic.
The big plastic, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah, because that's gonna be way more complicated than. I mean, copper. You get a miner, get some smelters, get some constructors. You're done.
Yeah,
And it's gonna be the same for the iron.
just getting the refinery complex to get the plastic we need to make all this, let alone combining it with all the other materials.
Is going to be a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have over 500 concrete in our new. Well, we had. I just grabbed some, but it's churning along. That's the important part.
All right.
We are making concrete at least relatively near on site. I'm going to go back and get a whole mess of the things it takes to make.
It goes 30 to 20. So to make 300, I'm going to need 450 crude. Lovely.
I cannot remember what a pure gives you.
Pure.
But there's a wiki for that.
Yeah, normal extraction rate is 120, so pure will be 240. So,
oof.
Yeah, it would be like 2 pure nodes or pure normal.
Well, there's a pure and 2 normals on that island.
Yep, that's what we're doing.
And then the sandy bar island to the south has another pure on it that can be tasked with that or something else.
So 3 oil extractors and a lot.
Oh, this is going to be a janky hypertube run, but I'm not laying foundation the entire way for this. Nope.
No.
It's going to be one of those things where we only use it occasionally. I don't have to make it pretty.
Yep. All right, think, buddy. 20. We're gonna need 15. Might as well make it 16 refineries.
I'm going to pull a trick from your playbook, because I always forget to do this, and use the to-do list.
Ah, yes. It is surprisingly helpful.
Like, not for all of the actual hypertube pieces and stackable conveyor poles and things like that, but just for the entrances.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember to make sure I have enough for those.
Not a bad idea. Weave through here.
Steel pipes.
Across the river. Come up this hill. Dodge all manner of poison pillars. Decide that those trees are apparently destructible.
If you drive through them, they sure are.
And then we're back at Steelworks, and then we head on up. But not before grabbing certain materials. The only thing I'm worried about with the HMF setup is that it is kind of digging into
The EIBs.
and the steel pipes, so I wonder how well the facility is going to catch up with all that. But I'm also hoping that, like, once that production kind of fills up, the consumption will slow down.
I watched EIBs for a moment at the bin because I was grabbing some,
Mm-hmm.
and we're losing an EIB every so often.
Mm.
The net is a bit lost. You could underclock HMFs a bit too.
That is
to try
also
and
true.
save
I
on that.
could. Yeah, I could. Might not be a bad idea actually, because we're not urgently needing them for a while.
You know, I said I wasn't going to like build a whole bunch of foundations, but I'm going to build some because they're going to want some of these at the start and end points.
Mm-hmm. Our landing pads.
Yep. Oh, I thought I had almost aimed this perfectly, and I kind of did. This rampway, this roadway I made, would be perfect except for the fact that it aims straight at the poison forest off to the right there.
Ah.
But I got so close. It was so cool. But I'm not going to keep doing that. Neat idea, but no.
Gonna need so much of that. Doing EIBs, or HMFs, my friend. We've got 59 so far.
Nice! Yeah, we're already zipping along there in that case.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and underclock this for a while so that we're not dipping into other things we need. So just, like, cut that in half for a bit, so it's making 1 per minute instead of 2 per minute. Oh no, the humanity.
Right.
That should give the steelwork some room to breathe. Steel pipe.
Oh, that is a cloud of stuff. I don't want that. Okay. Okay. That was very amusing, but we won't do that anymore.
Let's go ahead and just get any instead of overflow.
Okay, how many tiles was that exit you did?
2?
So 2.5. It's 2.5 out from there,
Oh yeah.
and it kicks you right out at the lip. Okay, good.
Alright. Going on ahead to make a huge refinery complex.
Cool.
I'm kind of surprised how much the Explorer's been kind of an MVP.
No, it's a great little vehicle. Right, I have to go back because I don't have any copper sheets.
Alright, it begins.
Dun dun dun.
All this space on this island is about to be taken up by a bunch of smokestacks.
Doing Fix It Incorporated proud.
Mm-hmm. Actually. Oh, now I recognize this spot. I have been here on my first excursion. This is where I put together big ol' plastic, no, rubber refinery setup to feed into what was going to be my tier 7 mega factory, but until they changed all the recipes.
Oh, whoops.
You live and burn.
Yeah. Time to grab a whole frickin' mess of copper sheets.
Right. So I've used this space before, and I know how. Oh. I should probably keep an eye on my health.
Ooh, yeah, maybe. Why is this constructor borked?
Huh?
There's wood on the conveyor belt leading into it, but it's not actually going into the conveyor, into the constructor
There
to
might
make
be-
the biomass.
There might be a wrong product blocking the way. Like leaves or
All
something.
right, let me just. There's leaves. I'll just take the conveyor belt out and then put it back.
That might have been my fault.
No worries.
Alright, so yeah.
Oh, for the love of Pete. I just realized I gotta go all the way back.
Ah.
I got almost down to the bottom and then realized I am missing boring iron plates.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to make very many supports if I don't have iron plates.
Alright, strap in everybody. This is big construction hours.
Dun dun dun.
Get ready for laying foundations and pipe. And then making a mistake, deleting it, and resuming. A lot of that.
Oh yeah.
For a second I was like, I did do the outputs and inputs in the right direction, didn't I? Good, okay.
The eternal question.
You can control V settings now.
What settings?
Recipe settings, mostly. If something's set to plastic, you can just copy that and then control V down the line.
Oh yeah. Right. Oops, I did not plan for enough steel pipes apparently. Oh, those take steel pipes. No, what takes steel pipes? What? Oh, the actual hypertubes themselves take steel pipes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought I'd be able to take the hypertube back when I was done, but nope. I gotta walk. That's right, I'll just power up the other end and shoot my way over to the end of it.
The thing that makes, like, refineries with solid and liquid inputs together really kind of tricky, I think, is just having to get the outputs out without getting in each other's way, especially when you have them all lined up.
Oh yeah, it is a serious pain in the keister.
It's this fundamental logistical problem of we've got fluids and solids being put out quite near each other, but we don't want them to be near each other anymore. No, that's too close.
Ah, the finicky placement of things.
Yep. Alright, except for power, that's one half of the setup done. And of course the final output for the plastic.
Okay, here goes. Can I get back to the steelworks from here? Let's find out. Alrighty. That was a safe trip back. Now let's get all the way out the other end. Slightly concerned that I have to skirt 2 poison fields to get from point A to point B here, but oh well.
Oh well. There's Baranos.
And if you look out the right side of the hypertube, you'll see air you shouldn't breathe.
Gotta do that all again.
Well, sure, why not?
Yep. It honestly gets easier the more you do it, because just like, yep. Did it right the first
It's
two
true.
times. Pretty sure I can handle one more of these.
Okay, presumably you've still got power. I'm going to make sure of that. Had to do some power pole rerouting over here, but yep, you still got power.
Good, good.
I've got a lot of practice at making sure power exists before deleting a power pole, so. Definitely adding another row to that.
And then...
Happy birthday to the ground! Love those misplaced foundations. Okay, I widened the highway a bit
Always useful.
so that I can place the output a little better on this, because I don't like how this is laying at all. Okay, so the nearest hyper tube to you will take you directly to the output of the concrete miner operation.
Nice. All right.
And then if you go just past that, there is another hypertube entrance that'll take you back to the steelworks.
Good, good, good. There we go. Ah. It's the little things sometimes.
This is true.
All right.
Well, it looks a little different down here from my last pass through.
Yep.
I can already see smokestacks in the distance. It's like all I can see through the haze. Interesting client-server glitch there.
Well.
Yeah, I just went past the Explorer, and it sounds like the engine's at high rev, even though there's no one in it.
Ah.
Early access. Oh, look at all that.
Now the other way.
Did it again. Oh, it's a good sign for me to stop laying concrete and go get more concrete.
Okay.
Think you got it?
I think I got it.
It's a pretty good hour's work, really.
Yeah, a couple, 320 units worth of plastic. I'd say that's pretty good.
I'm gonna have to blow these up. They're just in my way.
Enough to make maybe even 5 computers.
Ooh.
Ugh. But yes. All seems to be well.
I need to get a bunch more concrete, then I can start placing the last run of Hypertube. Luckily, I've got like 1,500 plus concrete waiting for me at the other end of this line, so hey.
So that is an oil plastic platform right there.
Sweet.
And the plastic it's producing will wait in a buffer bin until we're ready to start conveying it up here.
Cool. Well, my the next little stretch of time is going to be running foundation tiles and supports and hypertubage. And once those supports are all there, that will be where the conveyor belts can attach to.
Hmm. The Explorer got stuck, so I dismantled it so I can put it down later.
Ah, not a problem.
It hit one of the power poles and
it decided that was the ad, huh?
and then it spun and the back wheels went over the edge, and that was kind of it.
Oh, whoops.
So I saved it. Alright. Let me take this hypertube for a spin.
Did it again.
Every time.
Happy birthday to the ground.
Alright, so this puts us at our concrete outpost. And this
I was gonna say that should all be new to you now that the
oh yeah, yeah. This is entirely this is my inaugural trip. Yeah, nice easygoing trip back here. Kind of incredible how much distance we're covering, really.
Yeah. Yeah, we've circumnavigated part of the map anyway. Yeah, I'm going to use the new lane. I'm going to use the new lane of foundations I placed as the hypertube / conveyor belt
Not a bad
route.
idea.
Like, the conveyor belt would have to go up the other side to a certain extent to get started, but that's the thing, though. Yeah, no, I want the exit over here and the conveyor belt over there. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to use the Explorer over here much because the conveyor belt supports and the hypertube supports are going to get in the way.
Hmm.
We can just add another lane or something. Just add a little extra bit of tiles for driving around with.
Yeah. Yep, that took about an hour because now we have about 60 more heavy modular frames. Total of 112 now.
Very nice.
And the inputs for the EIBs and steel pipe seem to have stabilized. So yeah, underclocking was probably the right move there.
Cool. So I'll be making use of my own transport system here before too much longer. Like, not right away, because I'm running tubes.
It's honestly pretty solid. It's definitely shortens that trip by quite a bit.
At the very least, you can take your hands off the keyboard for a minute.
Yeah. Honestly, that's what I like about the hypertube. It's just like, okay, while I'm being hurtled across the map at high speeds, let me have a think. We may end up passing each other because I'm on my way back.
I'll say we probably don't want to try and share the same tube, so...
I don't think there should be an issue, but yeah, probably better safe than sorry.
Early access.
Yeah. The old, do we want to risk voodoo or not?
Yeah. Alright, so which tube are you in?
I'm at the concrete works. I haven't climbed in yet.
Okay, I'm going to hop in the tube to the concrete works.
I'll be here when you arrive. Also, probably not to grab it.
And like a little over half, or let's say close to half of the last hypertube run is done, but I started at the other end. But it won't take me long to finish this up.
Yeah.
This is
I'm not even
the
heading
work of
towards.
minutes.
I'm pretty much done with the plastic works until we're ready to pipe up or convey up the plastic. Now I kind of want
Right.
to. I want to actually put down some roots where the copper is going to be.
Oh yeah, good idea.
At least put down the miners.
Autosave in 5.
Ooh, that red sunset on the desert.
Oh yeah.
That is a heck of a view.
When I was getting the bauxite way the heck up there, I stood on that cliff edge at night, on a moonlit night, looked down on that. That is also quite a view.
Oh yeah.
All right, one more trip up the way.
Then over yonder, right? Those 3 normals net us 360 copper ore, which should be more than enough to get what we need for this thing. But as to how we're going to split that up, that's going to take some math.
Yeah, it's definitely a between sessions spreadsheet job there.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the HMFs must have saturated because the conveyor belts aren't doing anything now.
Yep. Which is good.
Yeah, exactly, it's perfect. Yeah, it's like now we can fill up the EIBs and all that again. You grab some when you need them, and then when you're done, you just let them go. Where the flippity blank did that go?
Can I go ahead and...
Plenty of those. Okay, fantastic.
Let's go ahead and run some power lines out here as well.
And now for the all downhill run. Consider the elevation changes between the various hypertube nodes. Like starting way up 300 meters up at the ironworks.
Yeah.
And then down to sea level, basically. Alright, it's a little crude, but it's functional. There's no way to make a really good, elegant hypertube run. Even if you do it all on foundations, there's still that weird camera jank every time you go through a junction.
Yeah.
It's like there are some times where, as long as you don't move the camera, if like you don't touch your mouse at all, it'll go through most of them without doing the camera jar. But then as soon as you change your, you corner it so you can look in the right direction, it starts doing the jink, jink, jink. Okay.
Even though we're not, like, using them yet, I'm going to go ahead and power the copper miners, just so that nothing else decides to get clever and try and spawn there.
Power equipment prevents respawns. Yep. Yeah, I had a oil extractor on the Sandbar Island pure node for weeks that I didn't use because I didn't want the all the critters respawning there. So I had to fight off a bunch of spitters and hogs to clear that.
Yeah. All right. So that's now ready and waiting for when we have a plan.
Sweet. I just want to put the finishing touches on this hypertube, which I did actually get it about halfway. And then I will be ready to call it good.
Yep, I think I'll be satisfied with my work today.
I know, that's fantastic looking. That is like fully utilized oil nodes just in the span of an evening. Heck yeah.
Honestly, like, liquid refinery platforms are probably some of the most visually impressive stuff in the game you can get at this tier. Whoops, on my mic there.
It's true, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Come up a little short because there's an elevation change. I'm trying to make it so that the conveyor belt don't do the... Oop, can't reach too long.
Yep.
Because it seems to be like exactly 7 flat they're good with.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing kind of 6 and change unless there's an elevation adjustment.
Sounds like a decent plan.
Kind of annoying they made it so that hypertubes can go longer than conveyor belts.
Kinda, yeah, but...
Oh well. They love throwing us these little curveballs. Because you know that was a deliberate decision.
Yep, definitely not just made up on the fly.
3. 2, 3. Probably going to have regrets about that decision. Let's see what happens. Oh, good. I did not mess that up. The conveyor belt will reach. Okay, good.
All right.
Going to be a little bit of power rerouting real quick.
That's
Luckily,
fine.
it's not going to affect anything major right now because, hey, we're not even using any of this stuff yet anyway.
Yeah. Oh no, the plastic production that's already probably filled up the bin by now. I've actually got steel pipes and copper sheets. I'll fill some of these hypertube connections in.
Cool. Oops, don't do that.
Emphasis on some, because I didn't have that many steel pipes.
Okay,
And
you
they're
should
gone.
no longer be necessary. Oh. There we go. I did briefly cut off power, but I restored it.
Good stuff.
Oops, almost. Okay, so you filled in the rest of those. Okay, good.
I filled in some of them.
A few, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, is that the whole run then?
Not yet.
Okay, let me run down there and do that
some
then.
at the end, yeah.
Not a problem. Oh, cool. Then you might as well stand by, because once I put in a few more segments, it should be the whole dang run.
All right, then.
I brought plenty of material. Okay, and I'm pretty sure I did the rest, but I'm going to eyeball that anyway, because, well, trust but verify.
Mm-hmm.
And I figure we can do our end of day shoot up there at the junction of the 2 hypertubes, because
Probably.
we're probably going to be starting out just doing stuff here.
Yeah.
It is fully ready to go. Go ahead and come on down.
And here we go. Oh yeah, that little rise at the beginning helps get some momentum coming down. Incoming.
Alrighty.
And onto the sand.
Oh.
Maybe you want to extend that out a
I
little
figured.
bit.
Yeah, that's not a problem. Not a problem at all. 9. And there you go.
There we are.
And since we haven't built any equipment along here, I wonder if the spitters and whatnot will come back. Oh, I left some raw ore there, didn't I? Oh well. Yoink.
And there we go.
Ha and za. That is a whole lot of job well done.
Well, and surprisingly, this is going to be the first time where we've kind of like have to do a part 2 of a specific project, but, you know, made a solid chunk of it.
No, this is... I mean, admittedly, I could have been building, copper works and iron works over here, but
the
I feel like
is
this...
actually very important infrastructure.
Yeah, the whole schlepping back and forth on foot. I mean, I have cut half an hour of travel time out of the back and forth on this project all by itself.
Yeah.
So I am proud of my work here.
And yeah, the huge raw requirement of plastic is now met.
Yes, I mean that's huge.
That's pretty huge. The
rest of this is fairly pedestrian work. I mean, we'll need one of these iron nodes. Big deal.
The rest is like getting the right split between all the assemblers we're going to need for the second level products.
Yeah. It's going to be balancing and getting the feeds in the order we want from the directions we want.
Yeah.
In the quantities we want. And that's all there is to that.
But at least the big, like, make a whole bunch of machines part is over.
Hot diggity dang.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're good. I think that is a solid run there. Let me uncoffee cup for a moment so I said game. Seriously. There you go. That's a good spot. And yoink. In between 2 hypertube entrances. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I think we've got a session and we have a good plan for what to do next time.
Excellent.
I am going to get a save out of this, and we're good.
Another great session as always. I'm super happy with the work we've done, even though we didn't, like, completely clear a whole milestone like we do usually, but we still got HMFs up and running. I mean, goodness.
You got HMFs running, and getting enough plastic to do anything with is a job in and of itself.
Yeah, no kidding.
That is 27 hours and 20 minutes. Sorry, 27
wow.
hours, 19 minutes, 59 seconds. Yeah.
My goodness.
End of save day 9. Folks, it's been real, it's been fun, and we will do this again next time.
All right. See ya.